I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you a multiple choice question on equations where we are going to use logarithms. We need to solve 10 to the power of x plus 10 to the power of minus x divided by 4 equals to 4. The four choices for the value of x are 1.2, minus 1.2, plus minus 1.2, no solution, or none of the above. I would like you to pause the video, answer this question, and then look into my suggestions. Now let's see how to solve it. First, let us write down this exponential equation in quadratic form. So we have 10 to the power of x, let's rewrite 10 to the power of x plus 10 to the power of minus x. We can cross multiply and write this as 4 times 4, let's say 4 times 4, which is 16, right? Now, so we get 10 to the power of x plus 10 to the power of minus x means 1 over 10 to the power of x, correct? And 4 times 4 is 16. Taking a common denominator of 10 to the power of x, or rather, what we can do at this stage is that multiply by 10 to the power of x on both the sides. Right, so we'll multiply by 10 to the power of x on both the sides. So what do we get? We get 10 to the power of x times 10 to the power of x. Let me write like this: 10 to the power of x times 10 to the power of x plus 1 equals to 16 times 10 to the power of x. I'm not writing multiplication sign since it conflicts with the x. Now when you have 10 to the power of x times 10 to the power of x, the exponents get added up, so it becomes 2x, right? So we get 10 to the power of 2x here. Bringing 16 times 10 to the power of x on the left side, we could write this as minus 16 10 to the power of x. And we have here plus 1 equals to 0. So what you notice here is a quadratic equation if we make a substitution that 10 to the power of x is, let's say, u, right? So if I substitute, let me do it here. So we'll substitute 10 to the power of x as some other variable, let us say u. Then what happens? Then I could write 10 to the power of 2x as u square, right? So if I do this substitution, in that case 10 to the power of 2x means squaring will give us u square, correct? So what we get here is u square minus 16u plus 1 equals to 0. So now we have a quadratic form. Now this quadratic equation can be solved using the quadratic formula, right? So using quadratic formula, I can write this as u equals to minus of b, which is minus of minus 16, plus or minus b square, which is minus 16 square, minus 4ac, right? So 4ac, both are 1, divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 1, correct? So that gives you minus minus is plus 16 plus minus square root of, let's calculate the square root term. So we have 16 square and then we have minus 4, which is equals to 252, right? So which is square root of 252 divided by 2. Now, what is the square root of 252? So we get square root of the answer is equal to 15.87, right? So we get 15.87 as square root of 252. So we could write this as 16 plus minus 15.87 over 2, right? Now, which we could just divide by 2 and write two possible values for u, which is let's do this. So 1 is 16 plus 15.87. So let's add 16 to this. Plus 16 equals 2 divided by 2 equals 2. So what we get, one of them is, so we get two values. Let me write down here. So u is equal to 15.937, or we will do 16 minus 15.87 divided by 2, and that is 0.065. Okay? So these are the two possible values for u which we have got from this solving this quadratic equation. Now let us substitute back u as 10 to the power of x. Right? So this is the value of u which we have got. But what is u? U is 10 to the power of x. So that means we have to solve the equation 10 to the power of x is equal to 15.937, or 10 to the power of x is equals to 0.065. Correct? Now how will you solve this? You could solve this using logarithms, correct? So now we'll use logarithms to solve this equation. So let's see how to solve this. So let me rewrite one of these equations. 10 to the power of x is equals to 15.937. Taking log, we get x log of 10, which is 1, equals to log of 15.937, right? So what is log of 15.937? Let's take it. So log of 15.937 is equal to 1.202. So I could write this as 1.202, right? Now log 10, you know, is 1. So this implies that x is equals to approximately 1.2, since we have given answers in one decimal place. Solving for the next value, we again get x log of 10. We'll write the same thing, right? So taking log, you can get x log of 10 is equals to log of 0.065, correct? So we have x log of 10 equals to log of 0.065. Let's calculate this value. Log of 0.065 is equal to minus 1.187, right? So which could be rounded to minus 1.2, right? 1.87 can be rounded to minus 1.2. So we actually rounded this number, which gives us that result. So what we get here is both plus and minus values, and therefore option C is the right option. So I hope the steps are absolutely clear. There is a possibility that at times we may get two solutions for such equations. Now what you should also do is, well, you could have done earlier also. Since it is a multiple choice question, you could have substituted these values just to check whether you get the answer or not. But the idea here is to understand how to really solve it. I hope that helps. Feel free to write or comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.